Hello YouTube, welcome back to a freaking Warframe video. I have not done a Warframe video in probably, it almost feels like a year now. A year and a half, probably not that long, probably about 6 months. But so, I'm sure you've seen a couple of my ducat farming guides as far as those builds pertain. It's usually builds that are like very quick. And I, for the longest time, did not know about Titania. I had found out about her, but then I proceeded to not give a shit about it and then never built her out for it. So, I'm going to show you something that is just so massively faster than what I've been showing you guys. So, if you remember, I was telling you that captures, rescues, sabotages, and all that were like probably the fastest when it comes to farming prime parts. Well, I was full of shit. It is actually exterminates. When exterminates come up, the corruption rate and the spawn rate for enemies is actually a lot better, or at least as far as grouping enemies, it will corrupt enemies a lot more to your convenience. So I'm going to show you a quick run, and then we're going to go over the build, and we're going to be using Titania Prime. Her Prime variant is not a necessity, it is not absolutely required, but this build will absolutely require one particular ability out of the helmet system, and I will tell you how to get that and how all that works right after we do this run, and I'll show you how fast we do this. Hopefully it's a good example the first time, because sometimes I get bad examples, but we're going to pick our relic. Alright, and we're loaded in. And just a first off note, I am on the Xbox One. On the Xbox One X. I don't have a Series X yet, but if you're somebody on PC and you do this build, man, you're gonna be farming prime parts so freaking fast. It's insane. I think probably the fastest run I have had so far out of any fissure was at least 50 seconds. So we're going to go into this, go into our fourth ability, and the whole time we're going to be spamming an ability called Thermal Sunder. And you'll probably know that is from Gauze. Everything is just dying around us. Alright, everything's dead. Let's get out of here. Ah, freaking nullifier. This definitely takes some getting used to. Alright, done. How fast did we do that? 1 minute and 51 seconds, and I didn't even play to like the best of my ability. Alright, now we're back in the orbiter, so let's go over what we just did. And once I go over it, we're going to go do another run. First up, the lovely, amazing, beautiful Titania Prime. Now let's go over the build. First up, we got growing power to occasionally proc that whenever we hit enemies with our Dex Pixia. Preparation, which you get from arbitrations. If you don't know what arbitrations are, you have to unlock the rest of your star map. The whole star map, and that will unlock arbitrations. You get Vitus Essence, so you can spend Vitus Essence to get preparation. Augur Reach, which comes from Plains Bounties. Prime Flow and Prime Continuity come from Barrow. You can do the regular variants if you so choose. Fleeting Expertise and Transient Fortitude both come from Vault Runs. Razorwing Blitz, which comes from New Loka. Natural Talent, I can't entirely remember where that comes from. And Stretch is a very basic mod. Arcane Velocity, not required at all. Don't ever think that you really ever need Arcane Velocity for the pure sake because of Razorwing Blitz, which will improve your fire rate. Arcane Energize, not required because if you need to, you can just go out of your pixie form, use an energy pad, go back into your pixie form if you so choose. I will go over the Dex Pixia Prime. It's, like I said, you're not going to be using these very much, but they're good for nullifiers like they were in that fissure. This is my build for it, but this is not fully fleshed out. This is probably built like crap. I don't have this built very well. It probably still needs a few forma and a few reworks, but It's just for the nullifiers, so there's no reason to like really min-max. You can have 0 formula in it if you want. For Dewata Prime, you're never going to use that, and we're going to be abusing a mechanic called corruption. Whenever you collect all 10 reactant, it will corrupt either your warframe or a weapon that you have equipped. So the less weapons that you have equipped, the more chance that your warframe will get corrupted. So in every single fissure I have run, every single time when I am in pixie form and I get my last reactant, it is almost always 100% Titania Prime that gets corrupted. Now what corruption does is it makes your power strength double and your power range double, which provides for even more damage and more range on the thermal sunder that we put on our Titania from the helmet system. It's such a really fun mechanic to abuse when it comes to speedrunning, especially with Titania. I really wish I knew about this build, or just I should have been running her so much sooner, just because I can't tell you how many prime parts I've gotten just from speedrunning exterminates the way that I have. So enough about that. That's the builds. Let's go over to the helmet segment. So here's your helmet room back here. You get that lovely line from Ortis. And as you can see on your left here, frames that you have subsumed, you get at least one ability. You get one ability, not at least. You get one ability from each warframe. And the ability that we're going to be getting, as you saw, was Thermal Sunder, which comes from Gauze. So if you've gotten regular Gauze and you've leveled him up and you form it a little bit, don't subsume him. Get another Gauze, subsume him, put that ability on Titania's 2. And when it comes to the helmet, you need a lot of resources and stuff to get to the helmet, so it can be a bit of a resource sink. But if you've been playing for a while, or if you have a resource booster, that will really help you out. It costs a little bit of that to subsume a warframe and to put an ability onto a warframe, but it's not that much of an issue, especially if you got a farming frame like Necros or something like that. As far as where you get the helmet segment, I'm going to go show you where you can get that right now. Something I should mention before I go show you where you get the helmet: Razorwing Blitz is not required. Sometimes I legitimately cannot control Titania because of this augment. It literally will increase your speed so freaking much that she is nearly uncontrollable, especially in smaller tile sets. Yeah, you don't have to run this augment. That's entirely up to you, but you really 100% will need natural talent because it will help you spam Thermal Sunder a lot faster. Go to our star map, go to Deimos, go to the Necrolisk. All right, and when you first load in, you can just pull up your pause menu, go to fast travel, and go to Sun. Browse wares, and there it is. There is the helmet segment blueprints. It's going to acquire some Velocipod tags, a couple resources from Deimos, but it's not too hard to get. Costs 15,000 standing, and it is either rank 3 or rank 5 that you have to be with the family in order to buy it, in order to get access to it. I can't entirely remember that, but you do need to be Mastery rank 8 in order to buy it. So we're going to exit the Necrolisk, and I'm going to show you another quick speedrun. As I was saying earlier, if you're somebody that's on a console or on a Switch, load times are going to be the bane of your existence. If you're on PC and you've got a good computer and load times aren't an issue, this will by far be an incredibly amazing Ducat farm, Prime Part farm, Void Trace farm, Platinum farm, just because Prime Parts and Prime sets are always probably going to be and remain as one of the best ways to get Platinum Warframe. Go into your Pixie form. Oh, something I forgot to explain. I forgot about it. My bad. Spellbind. I'm sorry. So if you're using the Razorwing Blitz augment, what you can do is hold the ability to cast the immunity on to Titania. What that will help out with is that will make it so where you don't, when you bump into stuff, you don't get staggered from it. So it's really nice. Titania is corrupted again. Come on. And we're done. How fast do we do that even with that explanation? a minute and 27 seconds. So take off that explanation, which takes off like what, 10 seconds? So as far as other speedrunning frames go, if you wanted to run a regular Gauze, if you have Gauze himself and you want to try and speedrun with him, I'll just pop his build in really quick. I've been running this one for a while and it's turned out pretty well. It's definitely not as fast as Titania, but if it's what you want to do, then go for it. But I've been sticking with Titania massively. You can do other frames like Sarah and Neja and all that, but Titania, man, she definitely takes the cake when it comes to speedrunning. I would definitely pick her up. You do not need her prime variant. You can do the Silver Grove quest and get her base form. It's just you're really going to need Thermal Sunder to make this build work. Because it just having that effective AoE, that area of effect, and being able to spam it the way I was, having the high efficiency and the range and the strength and everything, it's so nice. If you wanted to run a different class other than Zenerek, I think Zenerek probably would be the best class as it helps with energy. There have been occasions where I actually do run out of energy, but I'm very stingy with my energy pads. If you want to make your life a little bit easier when it comes to that, you don't have Arcane Energize, and sometimes you do find yourself running out of energy. What you can do is hotkey your gear items on your controller if you're on a console, which I assume not. Most people are usually on PC these days. But if you are on console, you can customize your controller to hotkey energy pads. So you've got gear hotkey 3 and hotkey 4. I've got my health pads hotkeyed left on my D-pad and energy pads hotkeyed right on my D-pad. So I don't think there's much else to explain. As pretty just a simple setup, and it's been working great for me. I've been getting tons and tons of ducats and prime parts, getting ready for Tenocon Barrow, the digital ticket when he comes around. So yeah, if you got any questions, comments, or concerns, and if you want to catch me live on Twitch, you can check out the links in the description. There's also a Discord there. Like I said, if you got any comments or questions, you can leave those in the comments section below. And I really hope you found this video useful. I'm sorry if it seemed a little bit blunt, but it's pretty simple, pretty fast, pretty easy. And good luck on your grind out there, Tenno. And remember, guys, strive proudly. And how loudly. Good night, everybody.